Have you ever felt like your age is the biggest obstacle in attracting younger women? Maybe you've convinced yourself that your best years are behind you and that the dating game isn't meant for men in their 40s, 50s, or beyond. But here's the reality. Your age isn't the problem. Your mindset and approach are. In fact, many men over 40 are not just surviving in the dating world, they're thriving, and they're doing so without relying on wealth or luck. So why do some older men succeed effortlessly, while others struggle to even get noticed? Through years of observing and coaching men from all walks of life, I've noticed a distinct pattern. The men who succeed have one thing in common. They know how to turn their age into an advantage. The ones who fail, they unknowingly commit a series of critical mistakes that younger women simply can't overlook. Here's the harsh truth. Women don't care as much about your age as you think. They care about your energy, your confidence, and how you make them feel. The problem is, many older men sabotage themselves before they even get a chance to show their true worth. They walk into interactions carrying the weight of insecurities, outdated beliefs, and behaviors that scream, "I don't believe I'm good enough." But don't worry, this video is about changing that narrative. Today, we're going to dive into the 7 most common mistakes older men make that push younger women away. And more importantly, I'll teach you how to avoid them so you can stand out as the confident, attractive man you were always meant to be. If you're tired of feeling overlooked and ready to flip the script, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what's holding you back, but also how to turn these so-called disadvantages into undeniable strengths. Ready to transform your dating life? Let's get started. Mistake number 1. Putting her on a pedestal. One of the biggest mistakes older men make when pursuing younger women is putting them on a pedestal. It's an easy trap to fall into. You see her youth, beauty, and energy, and suddenly she becomes this untouchable goddess in your mind. But here's the problem. The moment you put her above you, you place yourself below her, and women sense this instantly. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a conversation with a younger woman and immediately felt like you had to prove yourself? Maybe you overcompensated by talking about your accomplishments, your career, or even trying to impress her with gifts. But the more you try to earn her approval, the less interested she becomes. Why? Because you've shifted the power dynamic, and now she feels like she's the one in control. Here's the harsh truth. The minute a woman realizes you're looking up at her, she starts looking down at you. It's not because she's shallow or cruel. It's human nature. People value what feels scarce, and when you pedestalize her, you're essentially telling her, "I'm not good enough for you." And no one wants what's easily attainable. But the successful older men, the ones who attract younger women effortlessly, understand something crucial. They are the prize. These men don't see themselves as inferior or lacking just because of their age. Instead, they embrace their life experiences, their maturity, and their unique qualities. They walk into a room with the confidence of someone who knows their worth. And that confidence? It's magnetic. Think about the societal conditioning women experience. For centuries, older men have been seen as desirable, wise, powerful, and experienced. From Hollywood actors to historical leaders, the image of the mature man as a catch is deeply ingrained. Yet many men over 40 forget this. They focus so much on what they think they're lacking, youth, energy, or looks, that they fail to see the incredible value they bring to the table. So how do you stop pedestalizing her? First, shift your mindset. Instead of thinking, "What can I do to impress her?" ask yourself, "What does she bring to the table?" Remember, you're not there to audition for her approval. You're there to see if she's worthy of your time and energy. This subtle shift can change everything. Second, focus on your own life. A man who's deeply invested in his passions, goals, and personal growth is infinitely more attractive than one who revolves his world around a woman. When you have your own priorities, she'll sense that you're not just another guy looking for validation. You're someone with substance, and that's irresistible. Lastly, project calm confidence. When you speak to her, maintain eye contact, but don't overdo it. Speak slowly and don't rush to fill every silence. The way you carry yourself communicates more than words ever could. A man who sees himself as the prize doesn't need to explain it. He lives it. Remember, it's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about recognizing the value you already have and refusing to hand over your power to anyone. Younger women aren't looking for a man who begs for their attention. They're drawn to one who commands respect simply by being himself. So the next time you catch yourself putting a younger woman on a pedestal, stop, take a step back and remind yourself, you are the prize, not because of what you can give her, but because of who you are. And when you truly believe that, she will too. Mistake number 2, making your age weird. Let's get real. Age is only an issue if you make it one. Unfortunately, many older men sabotage their chances with younger women by drawing unnecessary attention to their age in awkward or insecure ways. Whether it's through self-deprecating jokes, excuses, or unnecessary comments, they turn something neutral into a glaring problem. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, "I'm probably too old for this," or "back in my day, things were different"? Maybe you thought you were being funny or relatable, but in reality, you were planting seeds of doubt in her mind. By bringing up your age unnecessarily, you're telling her and yourself that it's a disadvantage. And here's the thing, women mirror your energy. If you act insecure about your age, she'll start seeing it as a flaw too. Now think about the successful older men. Do they obsess over their age? No, they own it. They project confidence, maturity, and the wisdom that comes with life experience. These men don't try to compete with younger guys or pretend to be someone they're not. Instead, they embrace their age as a strength, not a liability. Here's the truth. Younger women often seek older men because they bring something younger guys can't: stability, life perspective, and emotional depth. But when you highlight your insecurities, you're stripping away the very qualities that make you attractive in the first place. It's like telling her, "I don't believe in my own value, so why should you?" So how do you avoid making your age weird? It starts with acceptance. Understand that your age isn't something to hide or apologize for. It's part of what makes you unique. Instead of joking about being too old, redirect the focus to your strengths. For example, if she brings up your age, you can say something playful yet confident, like, "Old enough to know what I want and young enough to still enjoy it." A comment like this flips the script and projects certainty rather than insecurity. Next, stop comparing yourself to younger men. This is a common trap for older guys. They feel the need to compete with the younger crowd, whether it's about looks, energy, or physical fitness. But here's the deal. Women aren't comparing you to a 25-year-old frat boy. They're evaluating you based on your own merits. When you try to act like someone you're not, it feels forced and inauthentic. Authenticity is far more attractive than any attempt to keep up with the youthful competition. Finally, focus on your vibe. Confidence isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are. When you interact with a younger woman, carry yourself with the relaxed assurance of someone who's lived life and come out stronger. Speak clearly, hold eye contact, and avoid overthinking how she perceives you. Women pick up on these cues, and when you project calm confidence, they'll naturally feel drawn to you. Remember this, age is only a disadvantage if you treat it like one. Instead of seeing it as a hurdle, view it as a badge of honor, a sign that you've lived, learned, and have plenty to offer. The minute you stop apologizing for your age, it stops being an issue. You're not an older man trying to keep up with the younger crowd. You're a man who's confident, grounded, and secure in his own skin. And that's far more appealing than trying to act like you're 20 years younger. When you own your age with pride, you show her that you're someone worth knowing, someone who doesn't need to justify their presence. So, stop making your age weird. Instead, make it your secret weapon. Mistake number 3. Falling into the mentor trap. Here's a classic mistake older men make when engaging with younger women. They unintentionally box themselves into the role of a mentor or a friendly advisor. On the surface, it might seem harmless or even like a smart strategy. You offer advice, share your life experiences, or help her solve a problem. But before you know it, you've become her life coach instead of someone she sees romantically. Why does this happen? It's often a defense mechanism. Many older men feel like they need to justify their presence in a younger woman's life by being useful. Instead of letting the dynamic evolve naturally, they lean on their experience and knowledge as a way to connect. While this might work initially to grab her attention, it quickly becomes a dead end. The problem is, once you're firmly in the mentor zone, it's incredibly hard to shift into the romantic zone. Let's break this down. When you position yourself as her mentor, you're creating a dynamic where she looks up to you for guidance. While that might sound appealing, it actually builds a barrier. She begins to see you as a safe, non-threatening figure, someone she can rely on, but not someone she's romantically or physically drawn to. And why would she risk ruining a helpful mentorship by making things romantic? Now, compare this to older men who succeed. They might start off with some advice or a shared interest, but they quickly shift gears. They inject flirtation, curiosity, and a sense of playfulness into the interaction, signaling that their intentions are more than just friendly. They don't linger in the safe zone for too long. Instead, they create a dynamic where she's intrigued, not just grateful. So, how do you avoid falling into the mentor trap? The first step is recognizing when you're leaning too heavily on the helpful older guy persona. If most of your conversations revolve around her career, her problems, or her personal growth, you're in dangerous territory. While it's fine to start a connection with genuine interest, you need to balance it with flirtation and playful teasing to keep the dynamic exciting. Next, don't be afraid to express romantic or physical interest early on. This doesn't mean being overly direct or inappropriate. It's about dropping subtle hints that make your intentions clear. For example, instead of simply giving her career advice, you could say, "You've got this confidence about you. I bet it turns heads wherever you go." A comment like this shifts the conversation from purely professional to something more personal and engaging. Another powerful tactic is breaking rapport. This might sound counterintuitive, but breaking rapport at the right moment creates a sense of mystery and challenge. For instance, if she starts relying on you too much for advice, pull back slightly. Let her see that you're not just there to solve her problems. You're a man with his own life, goals, and boundaries. This subtle shift in dynamic can make her view you in a completely different light. Finally, remember to maintain an air of intrigue. Women are drawn to men who are multifaceted. Someone who can be insightful but also playful, serious but also spontaneous. If you lean too heavily on one role, you risk becoming predictable and, frankly, boring. Show her that while you might offer wisdom and guidance, you're also someone who knows how to have fun and live in the moment. Breaking out of the mentor trap requires confidence and intentionality. It's about balancing the respect she has for your experience with the attraction she feels for your presence. When you stop trying to earn her attention by being overly helpful and start embracing your full personality, you become the kind of man she wants to be around, not just the one she turns to for advice. So the next time you find yourself slipping into the mentor role, take a step back and ask yourself, am I guiding her or am I exciting her? If it's the former, it's time to change the dynamic, because at the end of the day, she doesn't want another mentor. She wants a man who makes her feel alive. Mistake number 4, trying to buy her affection. This is one of the most common mistakes older men make when pursuing younger women. They try to impress her with material things. Whether it's expensive dinners, lavish gifts, or flaunting your financial success, this approach rarely works the way you think it will. In fact, it often backfires, leaving you feeling used and her feeling disconnected. Why do so many men fall into this trap? It stems from insecurity. When you see a younger woman, you might assume she's out of your league or that you need to compensate for your age. You think, what can I offer her that younger guys can't? And for many men, the answer is money. But here's the harsh truth. Buying her attention doesn't make you more attractive. It makes you look desperate. Let's talk about how this plays out. Imagine you take her to a 5-star restaurant, buy her an expensive bottle of wine, and surprise her with a designer purse. On the surface, it seems like you're showing her you can provide for her. But what's really happening? You're subconsciously telling her that you don't believe you're enough without these things. And women pick up on this instantly. Think about it from her perspective. Younger women who date older men already face stereotypes. People might assume she's only interested in your money. So, when you lean into this narrative by showering her with gifts or flaunting your wealth, you're reinforcing that stereotype. It makes her question your authenticity and whether you're genuinely interested in her or just trying to buy her affection. Now, contrast this with the men who succeed with younger women. They don't rely on material things to create attraction. Instead, they focus on qualities money can't buy: confidence, emotional intelligence, and a sense of adventure. These men understand that what makes them attractive isn't what's in their wallet, it's what's in their character. So, how do you avoid this mistake? The first step is to shift your mindset. Stop thinking of your financial success as the only thing you bring to the table. Sure, being stable and self-sufficient is important, but it's not what will make her want to spend time with you. What she's really looking for is a man who can connect with her on a deeper level. A man who brings excitement, understanding, and confidence into her life. Next, focus on experiences, not expenses. Instead of trying to impress her with expensive outings, invite her to do something that showcases your personality. Maybe it's cooking dinner together at home, going for a hike, or introducing her to a hobby you're passionate about. These moments allow her to see the real you, someone she can genuinely connect with, rather than someone trying to impress her. Also, remember the power of boundaries. If you find yourself constantly offering to pay for everything or giving her gifts she didn't ask for, take a step back. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I think it's the only way to keep her interested? If it's the latter, it's time to reassess your approach. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not transactions. Lastly, recognize the type of woman you're attracting. If a woman is only interested in you for your money, she's not someone you want to build a connection with. A meaningful relationship requires more than material things. It requires shared values, mutual respect, and emotional chemistry. By focusing on these elements, you'll naturally filter out the women who aren't genuinely interested in you. Here's the bottom line. You don't need to buy her affection. You need to earn her respect. And the way you do that is by showing her who you are, not what you can give her. Confidence, charisma, and emotional depth will always outshine money. So stop reaching for your wallet and start reaching for a deeper connection. That's what will truly set you apart. Mistake number 5, failing her tests. If there's one thing you can count on when interacting with women, especially younger women, it's that they will test you. These tests aren't meant to insult or annoy you. They're designed to reveal the real you. Women want to know if you're the confident, composed man you appear to be, or if you're putting on an act. And for older men, passing these tests is even more crucial. Let's break this down. When a younger woman interacts with an older man, she's naturally curious. Is he the mature, grounded man I hope he is, or is he just trying too hard to prove something? To figure this out, she'll throw out subtle challenges, comments, jokes, or even flirtatious remarks to see how you react. Your response can either solidify her attraction or completely kill it. Here's an example. She might jokingly ask, "How old are you anyway?" A confident man would handle this with ease, maybe saying something playful like, "Old enough to know what I want, young enough to enjoy it." But an insecure man might stumble, over-explain, or even get defensive. The moment she senses your discomfort, she starts to lose respect for you. Why? Because your reaction tells her you're not as self-assured as you seemed. Another common test might involve a playful yet provocative comment. For instance, she might make a slightly suggestive joke to see how you handle yourself. The confident older man responds with calm, playful banter, maintaining his composure and showing that he's comfortable in his own skin. On the other hand, the insecure man might either jump on it too eagerly, coming across as creepy, or shrink away, losing his edge. Here's the key. Women aren't testing you to be cruel. They're testing you to uncover your true character. They want to see if you're the kind of man who can handle challenges with grace and confidence. And when you pass these tests, you become infinitely more attractive in their eyes. So how do you ensure you're passing her tests? The first step is understanding that these tests are inevitable. Instead of dreading them, see them as opportunities to showcase your confidence and emotional strength. When a woman tests you, she's essentially handing you the chance to stand out from other men who fail miserably. Next, keep your reactions calm and composed. If she makes a comment about your age, don't panic or over-explain. Instead, lean into the humor or deflect it with charm. For example, if she says, "You're too old for me," you could respond with a smirk and say, "You're probably right. I'm way out of your league." This kind of playful confidence turns the test into an opportunity for connection. Another important strategy is to avoid defending yourself. The moment you start justifying or explaining, you lose ground. For example, if she teases you about being a creepy older guy, don't take the bait. Instead, flip the script. Say something like, "And here I thought younger women were supposed to be more open-minded." This not only shows that you're unfazed, but also subtly challenges her to rethink her assumptions. Finally, embrace the mindset of abundance. When you truly believe that you have options and that your worth isn't tied to any one interaction, her tests lose their power over you. You stop seeking validation and start enjoying the moment. This kind of energy is magnetic and will make her feel drawn to you, rather than in control of the dynamic. Remember, failing her tests isn't about making mistakes. It's about revealing insecurities. Women are wired to challenge men because they want to feel safe and assured in your presence. By handling these moments with confidence and humor, you not only pass her tests, but also demonstrate the qualities that set you apart as a high-value man. So the next time she throws a test your way, don't flinch. Instead, see it for what it is, a golden opportunity to prove that you're exactly the man she's looking for. Confidence isn't about never being tested. It's about knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. Mistake number 6, being too much of a nice guy. The nice guy trap is one that countless men fall into, especially older men who are stepping back into the dating world after years in a long-term relationship. They believe that being overly accommodating, agreeable, and gentlemanly will win her over. But here's the harsh truth. While women appreciate kindness, they're not attracted to someone who puts their needs and desires on a back burner just to be liked. Let's look at how this plays out. Imagine you've started seeing a younger woman. Because of past experiences, maybe your ex-wife or long-term partner complained that you weren't romantic enough. You decide to go above and beyond to prove you're different. You're buying her flowers, texting her good morning and good night every day, and agreeing with everything she says. But instead of deepening her attraction, you start noticing her pulling away. Why? Because your nice guy behavior isn't creating excitement or chemistry, it's making you predictable, and frankly, a little boring. Here's what most men don't realize. Women crave emotional intensity. They want to feel challenged, intrigued, and drawn into a dynamic where there's a sense of push and pull. When you're overly accommodating, you remove all the mystery and tension from the relationship. She knows exactly what you'll say, do, and think at any given moment. And when there's no challenge, there's no spark. Now, let's contrast this with men who succeed. They're not mean or disrespectful, but they also don't bend over backward to gain approval. These men know their worth and aren't afraid to assert their boundaries or express their desires. They're kind, but they're not afraid to disagree. They show interest, but they don't smother. And most importantly, they maintain a sense of independence and purpose outside the relationship. So, how do you avoid the nice guy trap? First, stop trying to please her at the expense of your authenticity. If you disagree with something she says, speak your mind. Respectfully, of course. Women are far more attracted to a man with a backbone than one who agrees with everything just to avoid conflict. Confidence isn't about being argumentative. It's about being unapologetically yourself. Second, don't make her the center of your world. This is a common mistake among men who are eager to impress. They cancel plans, neglect their hobbies, or change their routines just to accommodate her. But here's the thing. Women are attracted to men who have a sense of purpose and ambition. When you prioritize your goals and passions, you show her that you're a man of substance, someone worth being with, not someone who depends on her for validation. Third, inject a little unpredictability into your interactions. This doesn't mean playing mind games, but rather keeping things fresh and exciting. Maybe you surprise her with an unexpected outing or tease her in a playful, lighthearted way. By adding a sense of spontaneity and fun, you create the emotional highs that make relationships thrilling. Lastly, understand that being a gentleman isn't about sacrificing your masculinity. Yes, open doors for her and treat her with respect, but don't confuse being polite with being passive. A high-value man knows how to balance kindness with strength. He's attentive without being overbearing and generous without being a pushover. Here's the bottom line. Women respect and are attracted to men who respect themselves. Being kind, respectful, and considerate is important, but it should never come at the cost of your own boundaries or identity. The nice guy tries to earn her affection by giving too much. The confident man earns it by being true to himself. So if you've been caught in the nice guy trap, it's time to break free. Stop trying to be everything she wants and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. When you lead with authenticity and strength, you won't just win her over, you'll win her respect. Mistake number 7, ignoring the importance of chemistry. One of the most overlooked mistakes older men make when dating younger women is neglecting the importance of chemistry. Many assume that being successful, kind, or experienced is enough to carry the relationship. But here's the truth. None of those things matter if there's no spark. Chemistry isn't just a bonus. It's the foundation of attraction. Let's face it, a younger woman isn't looking for a business partner or a mentor. She's looking for someone who makes her feel alive. She wants excitement, playfulness, and a sense of connection that goes beyond surface-level compatibility. And unfortunately, older men often underestimate this need, focusing too much on logic and not enough on emotional engagement. Think about your past interactions. Have you ever found yourself sticking to safe topics during a date, work, hobbies, or news, without diving into anything deeper or more personal? Maybe you avoided flirting because you didn't want to come across as too forward. Or maybe you held back from expressing your true feelings, fearing it might scare her off. The result? A polite but forgettable interaction that lacks the emotional intensity she craves. Now, compare this to the men who excel in creating chemistry. They don't rely on external factors like wealth or status to carry the conversation. Instead, they focus on building a connection through shared moments, laughter, and a touch of vulnerability. They know how to balance lighthearted teasing with genuine interest, creating a dynamic that feels both exciting and authentic. So how can you cultivate chemistry? First, don't be afraid to flirt. Flirting isn't just about making compliments. It's about creating a playful and engaging dynamic. For example, if she mentions a favorite activity, you could playfully say, "I might have to join you sometime," if you think you can keep up. This kind of banter keeps the interaction fun and light while subtly expressing interest. Second, focus on creating shared experiences. Chemistry often develops when you and the other person share something memorable together. This could be as simple as laughing over an inside joke, trying a new activity, or even discussing a unique perspective on life. These moments build emotional connections that go far beyond surface-level attraction. Third, use body language to your advantage. Non-verbal cues, like maintaining eye contact, smiling warmly, or leaning in slightly during a conversation, can communicate interest and confidence without saying a word. Physical touch, when appropriate, is another powerful way to build chemistry. A light touch on her hand or shoulder during a conversation can create a sense of intimacy and connection. Lastly, don't shy away from vulnerability. While confidence is essential, showing a bit of your authentic self can deepen the connection. Share a story about a time you learned a valuable lesson, or talk about a passion that excites you. Vulnerability creates trust, and trust is the backbone of chemistry. It's also important to remember that chemistry is a two-way street. If you're putting in the effort to build a connection, but not feeling any spark from her side, it might be a sign to move on. True chemistry can't be forced. It's either there or it isn't. And that's okay. Your goal isn't to impress every woman you meet, it's to find the one who genuinely clicks with you. Here's the bottom line. Chemistry is what separates a casual interaction from a meaningful connection. It's not something you can fake or buy. It's built through moments of authenticity, playfulness, and shared experiences. By focusing on creating that spark, you'll set yourself apart from the crowd and become the kind of man she can't stop thinking about. So stop worrying about being perfect or checking all the boxes. Instead, lean into the present moment, enjoy the interaction, and let the chemistry unfold naturally. Because when it's real, she'll feel it, and so will you. By now, you've seen the most common mistakes older men make when pursuing younger women, and more importantly, how to avoid them. These aren't just minor missteps. They're deal breakers that can sabotage your chances before you even get started. But the good news is, every one of these mistakes can be corrected. And when you fix them, you'll discover that your age isn't a disadvantage. It's a powerful asset. The key is shifting your mindset. Stop focusing on what you think you lack and start embracing what makes you unique. Confidence, maturity, and life experience are qualities that younger women find incredibly attractive when they're presented the right way. The men who succeed in dating younger women aren't doing so by accident. They've learned to own their value, break free from outdated beliefs, and approach relationships with authenticity and strength. Now, it's your turn. Take a step back and ask yourself, are you giving away your power by putting her on a pedestal? Are you letting insecurities about your age dictate how you show up? Are you falling into the traps of being overly accommodating, buying affection, or ignoring chemistry? If so, it's time to make a change. Here's the truth. Younger women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for connection. They want a man who knows who he is, what he wants, and isn't afraid to lead with confidence. When you approach relationships with this mindset, you'll find that you're not just attracting women, you're commanding their respect. So as you move forward, remember this: you are the prize. Your worth isn't defined by your age, your bank account, or anyone else's opinion. It's defined by how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and how you live your life. Embrace that truth, and you'll become the kind of man who stands out, not just to younger women, but to everyone around you. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Stoic Golden Rule. Share your thoughts below. What resonated with you most? And if you're ready to dive deeper into mastering relationships and commanding respect, stick around for more bold insights coming your way. Your journey starts now.